everybody, welcome to the Fairy Vibrant Makeup channel. Today we are actually going to try out another palette, and that palette is going to be from Melt Cosmetics. I've never tried Melt Cosmetics before, so this is definitely going to be a first for me. I typically go for, I've never tried Jeffree Star. I tried those shadows. I really like them. I used to really love Kat Von D shadows. I feel like the quality is going. I don't know. I'm waiting for her to release another palette to really gauge that, but I really liked her palettes and formulas and her eyeshadows, but I really wanted to try Melt Cosmetics. I've been wanting to try this for a long time. Now, I wanted to try those stacks, but they're very expensive, but I get probably maybe they're expensive because they're really, really good. This was kind of pricey for a tiny little palette, but honestly, it looks stunning and it looks like there's good quality. I've heard a lot of good reviews on it. A lot of people say some good things about it, so I was very, very curious to try this one particularly. So this is called the Smoke Sessions. It's a marijuana one. I guess that's the thing. It reminded me a lot of my Huda. This one is the Huda Emerald Obsessions palette from her little mini palettes. But upon looking at them, yes, it's similar. It is very, very similar in color range, except I feel like there is more rich golds in the Smoke Obsessions palette versus this one. So you can see the difference between the two. Yes, they are a nice array of color if you don't want to spend a whole lot of money on the Melt Cosmetics. The Huda is only $27, but I do love those, and I'm very, very fond of all of those. I have pretty much all of the Huda Beauty ones, so it's just one of my favorites that I like to use. So, definitely curious about this. I want to try. I don't know why my camera's turning. I don't know. My camera was turning orange. Really weird. But yeah, so I really wanted to try this. So I don't have any makeup on right now, but I am going to put makeup on. I'm going to zoom you in, but I'm first going to swatch these guys like I always do. And I have, oh, I just dropped that. I have another collection that I was going to actually do a video on too. So, as you can see, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, I just stabbed one. 8 colors. Sorry, I just stabbed that one. 8 colors. They range from greens to golds. First shade. Oh, they're very, very, like, soft. I'm going to do 4 at a time. Very pigmented. First shade is called Blue Dream, even though it's a green shade. Holy moly, that is a gorgeous shade. It's kind of like a pale green with, it's a very icy green. Next shade is called Sweet Tooth. And this one is like a lighter green, metallic. These are metallic. Next shade is called Mean Green, which is a kind of true metallic green, almost like a moss green. This one is called Space Queen, which is a matte dark green, which I haven't really found a matte dark green. Like, I really don't see those shades that often. Okay. Next 4, which are more into the golds. Very pigmented. This one is called, these are weird names, but whatever. Sour Diesel, which is a matte olive green, almost like more towards a brown. Next shade is called Black Widow, which is like almost like a green. It's like an olive green gold. Next shade is called Grand Daddy, which is like an antique gold. And then the last one is called Gravity OG, which is a true yellow gold. So there is the Smoke Obsessions palette. Not very practical, I will say that. It's not a practical shadow at all, like a shadow palette, because you're going to have colors that you really can't, they're not basic colors, so I might have to dip into another palette to get that start. So I'm going to zoom you in now and we're going to show you how this palette performs. Use my eyes, they look super tired and they've been dry again, so I'm going to be using something different for priming. I know the last videos I've used the Sephora one, but this one gives me extra moisture, and I'm hit pan on this. This is the Becca. It's like an I hate nails. Anti-fatigue under eye primer. It's an under eye primer, but I do use it on my lids when my lids are super, super dry. These work really well with any kind of chalky colors that you have in your eyeshadow palettes that are extremely dry, and if you blend them, they don't blend well. This actually works at accentuating that color and also, you know, really helping that stick to your eye without drying out your eye. And especially if you have dry lids, this does work very well. I like the cooling sensation it gives me. So, okay, so like I said, I'm going to dip into some standard colors. And I actually didn't do a video on this one, but I don't know much to say about it because I've never tried this brand. But this is the Orb of Light Full Moon palette by Black Moon Cosmetics. So it is a matte palette. I'm actually waiting for the shimmer palette to come out, and then I could probably do a look more or less with this. But I've been using this constantly and I really like it. So first I'm going to dip into this shade right here. This one is called New. And I'm going to put that in the crease. It's actually more of a, it looks like a banana shade in the palette, but on me it kind of pulls a little bit more cream vanilla. But see, you can see I'm having issue with my lids right now. That's why I want to put some shadow down so I don't get any skipping, because my lids have been super dry. I don't know, I guess it's my allergies. It's just been so dry. There you go, that's way better. And I have to kind of put like a moisturizing primer and then kind of block it out with a vanilla shade. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go in with a crease shade. I do want to use a crease shade that'll start the color scheme in the palette, so I'm going to use this one right here. This one is called, what is this one called? You have to flip to the back. I think it's called, it's not Blood, it's Worm. So it's like a really mustardy yellow, because I want this to really kick off the look. I wanted to do an angular look, but I did that the other day with my Huda palette because I really wanted to try the greens on me, and it seemed to work very well. So today I'm just gonna, I'll bring it out, but I'll clean it up too, like I usually do. I don't have a whole lot of time to spend on my eyes today because I have to go to work. Yeah, I have to leave a little bit earlier than what I used to in my old job because it's a little farther, but that's okay. I actually don't mind the commute. I love driving, so driving for me is just a lot of fun. But I really need that color to tie in the look. Okay, so I'm just cleaning it off, dipping into New again to kind of blur out those edges. And just really soften it a little more. Alright, so we've got it based out. I don't know why on camera this one looks a lot. My eyes have just been really weird. I need just a little bit more shadow up here because it looks very uneven. I'm sorry if I mumble. I tend to mumble a lot. Okay, so now we're these two matte shades right here. So I'm going to do this one first, which is Sour Diesel, and then Space Queen over top. So I'm going to get my little Wet n Wild brush, and as you can see, it picks up quite a bit on the brush, and I'm just going to kind of map out my outer corner. This is very pigmented, and I would be shocked if it doesn't cling to any areas because my lids are so dry. Nothing I can do about the lids being dry except keep using my eye creams and just pray. I do see a little bit of patchiness in there, and it's because of my lids. They're very dry. I apologize for that in advance. Because see, this one, it's not as patchy because this part of my eye is not dry. So you could see that it's not the shadow, it's not the brand, it's actually just my freaking eye. So usually I like to just kind of tap out where I want my outer corner to be. And then I am going to switch back to the Orb of Light palette. I've been liking this palette for like everyday neutrals. Because I would use the Kat Von D Shade Light palette as my neutral palette. However, I just haven't been interested in it lately. Could be because, I don't know, her brand is kind of getting lackluster for me. There's nothing exciting coming out. Like, yes, she finally came out with a new mascara, which I have not tried, but I asked a girl at Sephora, because, you know, I actually work in an area where a full Sephora is there, because there's only one in Albuquerque. The other two are, like, inside JCPenney's. And I asked her, what do you think about it? And she goes, nah, use the Milk one. I'm like, okay, because I have tried the Milk hemp one, and I really like it. Okay, so now I'm going to go into Space Queen. I really like it because it's not drying on my eyes. It's super, super moisturizing. I'm going to have to be very careful with this eye. It's getting patchy really badly, but just because my eye is super dry. Probably shouldn't have based it out with that vanilla shade, because now I'm going to experience patchiness for sure. So I'm just going to kind of drag it out a little more and kind of soften it. This is how I've just been doing my eyes lately. It's just my go-to. I mean, you don't have to do this. Do whatever style you do. Find your own style of how you do your eyeshadow. Don't really follow what everyone else tells you to do. I'm just showing you how the performance of this will do. So this is just how I do my eyes. Like, I watch this, it's called Tara Babies, I guess. She's a YouTuber that collects a lot of makeup. And she does her eyes her way. And I actually applaud her for that, because not a lot of people do their eyes their way. Like, they'll do it based on a YouTuber. Which is something I don't recommend, because everybody has different eye shapes. Everybody has, and I mean, yes, some YouTubers do recommend, like, for hooded eyes, which is excellent. I love that. I'm not a makeup artist, so I am definitely not one to give that kind of advice. I'm just a product expert. I would never put MUA in my name, because I am not a makeup artist. I didn't go to school for it. I see myself as a product expert. I have been trained on a lot of products in my day, a lot of products, mostly because we had a lot of access to that in Denver. I got a lot of product education, a lot of training with products, the brands, and everything. That's why I call myself a product expert, because that's what my specialty was when I was a prestige sales manager. I was the product expert. I made myself be the product expert. Okay, so now we're moving on. I really want to use all this palette, but I unfortunately can't. I'm going to have to kind of pick and choose what I want. So I'm going to get a flat brush over here. I really want to use these bright greens, but I also want to use the golds. So I think I might just do the greens on the top and maybe the golds on the bottom, or vice versa. I think I kind of want to do the golds. I don't know. I kind of want to do the golds on the top. I think it'd be a nice contrast. So I'm going to do the golds on the top. So I'm actually going to take this shade right here. It's Granddaddy. So it's like that antique gold. I'm taking just a Wet n Wild brush because I need to clean my brushes badly. I mean, I'd love a nice metallic, but unfortunately my eye is not allowing me to really go full force on the metallic. A full eye of metallic, so. And these are very creamy and they're very pigmented, so. Now, is this a unique palette? Yeah, by itself, yes. But I feel like I can get these colors elsewhere, but I don't want to have to go do the guesswork and all that stuff. Gravity OG is my next shade. I'm going to put this more concentrated in the inner portion. This is more of that yellow gold, so it's really going to make this pop. And you'll notice I've done cut creases in the past, but I have not really done a lot of cut creases. That's because I don't like to do cut creases that often. It's a lot of time that I have to spend. Sour Diesel is next, and this is actually going to marry the colors together. So I'm just going to kind of lightly tap it on top of Granddaddy. Just to blend those shades together. Like, I like to just tap it and blend it. I got hair in my eye. I keep grabbing my hair, and it's probably just because my hair is naturally wavy and I have it in its natural state, and it's a pain in the butt today. Okay, you see how messy my eyes look, okay? It's not that bad, but you know, that's just what happens when you have eyes like I do. Especially dry ones. I'm going to take a little bit of Sour Diesel, and I'm just going to blend it more into that mustard shade to really tie the look together, because I feel like it's missing that. And I'm trying to be very careful on this part right here, because as you can see, it's kind of patchy. Versus this one is not so patchy, just because my eye, my right eye is very dry. So if you guys have any suggestions on how to fix that, I am more than open to any suggestions. So I'm taking Worm again and just kind of softening those shades a little bit more. And I know I just totally blocked out my brow bone, but that's okay. I'll just take another brush here and then pick up New. And just, my brows need waxing, so very like noticeable that I have hair there. I apologize in advance. I'm getting a wax soon. I've got to get it waxed this month. They've got Bold is Beautiful at Ulta. I'm always there to support my girl, my brow expert, Bridget at Cottonwood. Always will support her in her cause, because I used to do Bold is Beautiful as Prestige Manager. You know, I used to promote that. It's a very, very empowering piece to Ulta, and I feel like it's supposed to empower girls, help women. It's a very good program. So if you want to get your brows waxed at a brow bar. So now it's time to clean this up. So I just take a makeup wipe. I need a little bit more closer of a mirror. And then I just kind of crisp it like that. Needs a little bit more blending. For sure, this is not my best work, I promise. I do better than this. It's just, I'm trying to hurry for work too, and yeah. Okay, so I do need to really fix my outer corners, or my outer portions of my lid greatly. So I have to grab the Orb of Light, dip into Worm again, and just kind of On camera it looks patchier, but in person it's not as bad. But I really just want this to be nice and blended. My blends need better work, that's for sure. Okay, so I'm gonna jump off camera. I'm going to do my foundation, my brows, everything else, and then do my lower lash line next. And I haven't set the rest of my foundation, but I did set my under eye. I'm gonna go ahead and go in with more shades. Let's see, I'm gonna do greens on the bottom. So yeah, I'm gonna do more or less. Gosh, I haven't used Black Widow and I really want to use Black Widow. Yeah, I'll use Black Widow, which is that more olive color. And I'm going to do that on the outer corner. It's not picking up with my crown brush. It's very chunky. There we go. Does take a couple tries. Just because this brush isn't very good. I just like it because it really gets in there. Alright, so there we go. I do need... I'm running out of brushes. So badly. Okay, I'm going to grab this Morphe brush here. Let's see. Oh, I need to grab Orb of Light really quick so I can blend out those edges with Worm. I want to tie it all in together. Like I said, you can't really use this palette by itself. You need some crease shades and, you know, stuff to blend things out. So that's why I'm using that. So I'm going to go in with Sweet Tooth, because that's a shade I'm gravitating towards. Oh, wow. Difference a brush will make. That is a gorgeous color. That is a gorgeous color. Okay, so I'm just going to clean off my brush real quick, because I need more of that Worm shade from the Orb of Light from Black Moon. I really can't wait till their metallic one. Just to kind of tie that in. I feel like there's something missing on my top. I think I'm just needing to blend it a little more. So I'm going to take Worm again and just kind of blend it some more, like softly. Yeah, that's what it needed. Yeah, that's what it needed. Alright, so now for the inner corner. That's my favorite part. I know I haven't used one of the shades, actually. I haven't used Mean Green. And I really want to use all the shades in this palette. Like trying desperately not to fall here. I'm going to take my little dragon brush I got from Hot Topic, and I'm going to dip into Mean Green, which is that more emerald green right here. And I'm going to use it as liner. This brush is not the best. Just using it as like a liner for the outer corner, because I really don't want to use a black liner. I've been using that a lot lately. Been getting bored of putting the black liner on the outer, like on my, like a black wing. I feel like it just needs a little something different. So why not put a giant green wing? And yes, I'm getting fallout like crazy, So I need to grab my brush, which I have no idea what I did with. There it is. Kind of clean those bits off. Okay, that looks way better. Now it's time for my inner corner, which is going to be Blue Dream. Even though it's a green shade, Blue Dream is going on my outer corner. Or inner corner, sorry. I don't even know how to talk today. There's... Wow, that is really intense. I try and use every color in the palette. That's why I'm like, I've got to use that mean green shade. Ooh, that's really cool. Alright, so I'm going to finish the rest of my face, my eyes, talk about my thoughts on the palette, and yeah, just let you know my overall thought. I really did like this palette. Very pretty. I love the greens. I love that there's golds in it. Something I would never really go for, I guess, like, never really saw in a palette, that's what I mean. But I really do love this palette. It's very nice. I didn't put any highlighter on because I wanted to use the Blue Dream shade, the light shade, as a highlighter. So I'm just going to pick that up. It's a little dark for me. But I do like it how it's giving a green cast. It's a little too glittery for a highlight. Dang it. That's alright. I'm just going to fix it real quick with my Alchemist palette. And I'm going to take up Green Emerald and just really... Yeah, there we go. That's what I needed. Something to just glide. I need that green highlighter. Sorry, I'm like totally blocking what I'm doing. I really like it. It's very interesting. The concept is interesting. I'm not one to use recreational drugs or anything like that. Like, I hear marijuana is good for you, but whatever. I don't know. I'm not one to use stuff like that. I mean, I like the colors in the palette. I love the fact that there's a green. I'm one of those people that really like to pick up shadow palettes that are themed colored. Like, that's why I have all of these guys, is these are all themed. This is all green. You've got your ruby that's all red, amethyst purple, topaz yellow, sapphire blue, etc., etc. You know, that I love stuff like that. I actually got inspired by my Jeffree Star look because it's all blue. I want to do a painting series that is just colors. So like colors of the rainbow. I want to do just a monochromatic type painting of my style, you know, my fantasy paintings, and just make every one represent a color. So I'm kind of inspired by that. But I really like this color scheme. The gold is a nice break from the green, not being super 100% green, but I really like how it blended out. I did have to dip in to my Orb of Light, so that's the only thing about this palette, is it's not going to have your staple crease shades. That's the only thing. So there's no brow bone shade, there's no crease shade, there's not a secondary crease shade, there's not anything to really help you with the entire look to tie it in together. So you're going to have to pull from your neutrals. So definitely do keep a neutral palette. For example, Soft Glam is a good neutral palette. I have the Orb of Light from Black Moon is a very good neutral palette. If you like more of a Naked Reloaded palette's really good. So there's a lot of different options out there for you as far as neutral palettes. By themselves, they may, like for me, they seem boring, but I do need to have them in my collection for palettes like these. So definitely recommend getting a neutral palette to pair with this. So definitely, I love it. It's actually, I think it's a little bigger maybe. Yeah, it's just a little taller than my Lolita palette. Just a little bit wider, I guess. But it's pretty much like the same concept. I like these long, skinny ones just because they fit really nice in my collection perfectly, and I can just grab them, and they're a little bit bigger than my travel ones, which are the Huda ones. Those are my travel shadow palettes. That's why I don't really use them that much. With a lot of like my stuff, I don't really use them that much. My brows look severely light. I just dyed my hair black, and I know I probably shouldn't be box dyeing my hair. Confession, I box dyed my hair. I was getting desperate. My hair was getting really weird again, and I don't have time to go and get my hair done. So my brows look really light. But anyways, I do love the Smoke Obsessions palette. This is my first time trying Melt Cosmetics, so I'm curious about the Gemini palette. That would actually work really, really good with the Smoke Obsessions. And my mom was a Gemini, so that zodiac sign is very dear to me because it is my mom's zodiac sign. And I don't believe that that describes her entirely, because everyone's like, well, I can be nice and then I can be really mean. I'm the twins. And I'm like, well, my mom was just Mama Bear, like every mother was, and if you crossed her kids, then you're gonna cross her. So that's how she was. But I really liked her beautiful, kind heart. That is something that's very important to me. When I'm filming this, it's actually before Mother's Day, so I'm like dreading Mother's Day. My husband's going to be out of town for Mother's Day, and I'm just going to be by myself. I'm actually going to be at work, but that's okay. I kind of need to I don't want to celebrate Mother's Day this year. I don't know why. I know I am a mother. I need to. We might celebrate it a little early before my husband goes out of town, but I'm just like, bleh. But it's been year 2 of, things. This is actually my 3rd Mother's Day without my mom, because the first Mother's Day was 2 weeks after she passed, or 2 months after she passed, so it's like, it's really hard. It's super hard. I'm telling you, if you are someone that's grieving, you know what I mean. It's not, don't feel bad if you feel like you can't get through it, or if you can't get over it. You're never going to get over it. That's what I've learned in my grief counseling, is that you're never going to get over it. It's something that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life, unfortunately, but you just have to learn how to apply certain things to make your life happier. Remember those people and remember what they've done for you, and apply that to life. Like, apply how my mom used to be silly and goofy and make us laugh all the time and take us to places. I'm going to do with my children, because I want them to know what my mom did for me, and I want to do that for them, because of course I'm going to put my spin on it because I'm their mother, but like stuff like that. I want to make life fun for them just like my mom did for me, because I want them to remember me that way. So yeah, I'm sorry I'm getting off on a topic that's kind of heart-wrenching and sometimes, but definitely, Gemini just made it go that direction. But I want to get the Gemini palette. I'm going to look out for it and see, because they are pretty pricey. The melt stacks look very pricey, so it is kind of a pricier brand, but they are pretty good quality. I would say the price is worth it. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something different. But thank you guys so much. I appreciate your support and being patient with me on getting back into YouTube. I just needed some time and space away from the camera, so thank you guys so much. Look for more palette videos if I pick up any more palettes, but yeah, I'll see you